why do you think that China is so extreme with their COVID measures? They're putting people in cages. They have government officials sitting around having fishermen test the freshly caught fish for COVID. I mean, they wonder if it's real or if it's fake or what. I mean, why do you think they're being so extreme about it?
It is so crazy. It just makes no sense. I can't figure it out. And I personally have not seen any good analysis of why. I mean, these are not stupid people. Why are they acting in such a stupid way? Is it mass psychosis that's taken over China, similar to the Cultural Revolution psychosis?
Wow. I hadn't thought about that perspective, but that it happened before. Certainly could happen again.
And it's very dangerous. I mean, for whatever reason, the Chinese government is imposing this because although the mass movement of people from the countryside to the cities has diminished, still, I mean, China's got all these, people, and China's getting older now, of course, aging rapidly. But if you've got all these people in the cities, you've got to have growth. I mean, people just can't live in their apartments and do nothing. And if the world economy really does collapse and there's duties and quotas everywhere, China's factories close down because it's export oriented. I mean, China could be a time bomb. So at the same time as China's the 21st century is China's century. Okay, I buy that. But that doesn't mean that China is not going to have big problems in the near term too. Failure of banks, all kinds.
Yeah, and that seems to be accelerating. The biggest theory I could come up with is just that they've instituted within the major cities this testing regime where people have to test a couple times a week. And it's very expensive for the government to run this and very taxing on the people, obviously, to do this. But they're testing mass populations every week, and if they're given their social credit score technology that they have, that this would create a good way for them to pull out dissidents from the population and set them aside for quarantine, kind of in the Solzhenitsyn, when the KGB or whatever is coming into people's homes in the middle of the night and then carrying them away, knowing that they're going to be trouble. This would allow them to do that same sort of thing, to kind of pull out dissidents if they're worried about social unrest. So that's the best theory I have for it, because I do believe they're very smart, but I don't know.
That's a good speculation. I mean, now, while things are still, held together, it's a good time to identify the free thinkers and potential trouble sources. And
right, and they have a good excuse. If twice a week you have to go and test, and these tests, it's like, oh, you're positive this time, so you have to be quarantined. Pack up your stuff. We'll meet you at the curb at 2:00. That kind of does allow them to weed out the population the way they might want to.
Yeah, this is a situation that's got to be monitored, and it doesn't look at the moment like it's going to have a happy ending. Well, we'll see.
We'll see.